What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's well. Hope the day is going well for you all. Shout out to Donnie. What's up? Mrs. Bailey, what's the word? How you doing, lady? Y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, join, and donate. Support the channel if you would. See the ways to do that. Patreon, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and of course, YouTube's own version. So you can super chat it, but please support the show. Man, what's up, Hybrid? Barry? Bishop James, appreciate that, James. Thank you. Trey, what's going on? Well, y'all see the title, and this is related today to something I went ahead and posted on my comment section, my community tab, I should say, on YouTube. I posted in a few other places as well, Facebook, Instagram. Got a lot of responses from people, all over the place. What's up, High Scholar? What's going on? Cozy, See Truth, what's up? And, decided to kind of delve into this a bit. This was something that a listener sent in and wanted to share with me. And shout out to Brother Carlos. Hope you're well. But I thought I would share this nonetheless. I don't think I need to pull this on the screen necessarily, but I'll read it to you anyway. So again, listeners send me stuff all the time, and this one kind of caught me out of the blue, and it has to deal with abuse. But it's not necessarily about a person being abused in the moment. It's about a discussion that two people are having about abusing Black men. And most particularly, it came from two, or at least one, very old woman who's talking about it. So this is what was sent. Right. It says, so I'm sitting here in the dentist's office right now, waiting to get my teeth clean. This is my boy. And then it says, there are these two sisters sitting in front of me, just rapping, catching up. One asks the other if she still hits her man. The other starts joking about all the times she hit her man, one of which she threw a weight through the window of his Jeep and didn't even hit him. She hit somebody else, remarking jokingly about how she messed his neck up with the weight and the broken glass, I'm guessing. They're having this convo out loud in a waiting room at a dentist's office. The hitter is sitting on a pretty wide walker, hooked up to a little oxygen tank. Her son or grandson is accompanying her. He can't be any older than 20, if that. This is the kind of conversation that two, or at least one elder, is having in a public space about the abuse of Black men. What's up, Gemini? Appreciate that support. Salute to you as well. What's up, Mr. Muhammad? Good to see you. Hope you're well. But this is what we're dealing with. Hybrid, what's up? Cynical, what's going on? This is what we're dealing with, right? Where the casual commentary about abusing Black men is not even an issue, right? I think men are pretty clear that if you were to talk about this kind of thing, even in public, you'd be publicly shunned. And I'll get to that in a little bit in terms of how that kind of works and how we see that. But nevertheless, this conversation just kind of struck my friend, my associate, I should say, quite, interestingly. And he shot it to me, and I was too caught off guard by it because of its casual nature. And yet it speaks to something that I've been talking about for some years. Black male studies scholars have been talking about for some years, the casual acceptance of abuse. And I can't tell you, even just over the last couple of years, but prior to that, in terms of the students that I've dealt with for the last 20 plus years that have told me these kinds of stories and how much other people can be witness to them and it still go right over their head, just completely oblivious to that abuse. Although we have a different trigger, however, when women are the victims. But when men are the victims, it's everything from laughable to dismissive, right? Shout out to JBA. I appreciate that support. And it is hybrid. It is blatant misandry, right? One-way aggression is acceptable in this society, unfortunately. Absolutely. And so I want to read some of the comments that came in, but should have marked the ones I was really trying to respond to. Yeah. There's a number of these, and usually when I do these kind of things, people send in stories about what they've experienced, and that's the part that gets me. That's the part that really throws me. Um, So one says, it has not changed since my elementary school days in the 70s. I stopped getting bullied by men when I turned 12 in 1975. All my bullies since then have been women, but they all swear they're playing when you give them what they give you. Equal rights get equal lefts, Jezebel's an unrepentant spirit to the bitter end. These are kind of statements that you see, right? Somebody said he's a better man than me. I'd be given sentence football numbers for my actions. These are the kinds of responses people have when they go through it. My childhood friend literally ran her husband over. He flew over the windshield and roof of the car because she was calling him while he was in a convo with friends on the street outside their home, and he did not respond to her summons. As she laughed while telling me the story, she explained how she talked him out of reporting her to the police. Yeah, man. That's what we're talking about. Right? Casual acceptance of this and the extent to which men themselves will accept this. And I remember even when I was younger, the older guys would just tell us that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And I've had senior professors, scholars who I've had casual private conversations with that would tell me stories even about their grandmothers. And these cats were in their 80s and they're talking about their grandmothers pulling shotguns on their grandfathers, these kinds of stories. This is not a new phenomenon. We talk about, abuse in the Black community, intimate partner violence being bidirectional, equal amounts, roughly speaking, coming from men to women and women to men. This has been a dynamic that's gone on for quite a while. This is not new by any measure, but the casualness of it is what can be jarring, right? The degree to which this is widely known. And yet, when we have conversations about abuse, we grow very comfortable with the narratives around who's the abuser, who's the abusee, even though we've seen things contrary to that, and the data is pretty clear on it. We still operate with it on very subjective grounds, very problematic grounds, and we ignore what we've actually seen, right? Hold on. I think there's another one here I wanted to share. Okay. Where'd it go? Damn. I think this is the one. Where is it? My apologies. I should have marked it. Okay, I'll come back to that one. Let me see. So one of them said, I'll never forget my Black grandmother one Sunday throwing a large knife at my head because I was playing around with her. I was probably about 9 or 10. The knife slightly grazed my head so much that as at now, almost 43. Let's see if I can. Oh, man. This thing is not working right. Okay, there we go. I think that did it. There it is. My apologies. All right. So now at 43, I still have the scar in my hairline. My grandfather lost it on her, not hitting her, but cursing her out at close to 90. Even though I love her, I still have that in my mind when I see her. Right. So grandmother actually throwing a knife at him. Yeah. Right. Let me see. As far as intimate partner violence against men is concerned, men are supposed to be big punching bags, big pin cushions that should be able to withstand any abuse. Further, we are supposed to not only accept it, but embrace it as a form of love. Is that what she means by you can't handle me? Right. Another says, a female coworker of mine, a known bully, tried to run over me with her car. She never liked me, especially when talking at work, and my views didn't match her feminist perspective. She hit the gas hard before work. If it wasn't for my mirror on my helmet, she would have ran me over with no witnesses. I managed to swerve and escape. Minutes later, she met me at the time clock, thinking my anger would make me punch her and lose my job. Told her after clocking it, blank, you must think I'm a fool. Idiot, if you think I'd let your your ugly self make me lose this job. She bobbed her head like a pimp and walked away, saying, "That's what I thought." Went to I don't know what that is. Went to HR. Oh, okay. Went to HR, which had many complaints against her harassment of others, and yet still has a job. I went to file a police report. They laughed at me, the males, as if it were a joke, and I was lying. From that day on, this incident solidified that no one cares for Black men, and I stay away from Black feminist-minded women. They are known for destroying families with glee. All right, so these are just casual comments sent in by those who read the piece that I posted. And I'm only reading the ones on YouTube. There are plenty more on Facebook and Instagram. And again, including stories that involve men being attacked arbitrarily for the slightest of offenses, sometimes just for existing and not being what people want them to be, what women in particular want them to be. And these are the kind of issues that we're looking at, right? And if this is coming from elders, right, what does this mean? Okay. Yeah. This is the kind of mess we're looking at. I'm not going to sift through all of these. As a matter of fact, you can go to the community tab and look through them. You can go to my YouTube or my Facebook, look through those as well, and you can see what I'm talking about. But the casualness of male abuse, I want to share with you in another way. This is from Flex God's account on YouTube. Had a very interesting video I wanted to share with you that I think you'll find intriguing. One of the things that you can find on YouTube pretty readily is social experiments where people actually try things out in public spaces and watch people's reactions. And one of the ones that I show regularly in my classes are experiments where men are abused in public, so we can kind of gauge the public's responses. And I have several that I show on a regular basis, but this one is fairly new. This one was made just, I want to say, a couple of weeks ago. Some of this information disappears. Okay, so this is January 21st. All right, so this one's made January 21st. And this is the first one that I've seen with a Black couple. Most of the ones I see have a white couple, but this one I found interesting. So this is a social experiment where two people are going out in public and, feigning abuse and gauging people's reactions. Here we go.
Boss man, you work here?
Is this a girl side or
Yeah, it's girl sizes, but guys shop on the side too.
Okay, it's perfect for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys are thinking they're a little too small,
She's funny as fuck.
You don't see how small he is?
She's funny.
That's funny as fuck.
She's funny. It's just, she's a girl, but it's not that funny, fam. You don't gotta laugh at her jokes, bro.
This is gotta be a prank.
Starts with public
I'm
embarrassment.
for you.
Listen.
That's retarded,
This nigga
bro.
told me he gonna take me shopping in the shoe store. You see me with any bag?
Yo, I'm here for the.
You're not here for me. We just window shopping. How
Stop,
you
and what the fuck you yelling for? This man ain't got nothing to do with all that.
Okay,
Yo.
but
You
you
telling
pissing
him
me
too
off.
much.
You get me tight. All you bought me was an ice cream. This cost $6.
Yo,
We went to two stores.
I'm literally here to just try to get 2 jackets and you get whatever. They could give you something for free. You just talking and other shit.
Come on.
I'm finna go on my way, do what I gotta do. You go do that. Eat that shit and do whatever you gotta do. Like, that's stupid.
Don't walk away from
Watch
me.
out, you're doing too much. Please.
I'm doing too much?
Too much. And why you making jokes out of shit for no reason?
Yes, like,
That shit's stupid, bro.
Yeah.
You could go though, dog. Like,
go where? Go where? You pick me up.
Watch out.
Yo, stop playing with me.
Watch out.
Stop playing with me. I'm not the one. I'm not the fucking one.
Watch out.
You embarrassing me. You're fucking embarrassing me. You get me tight.
She's like,
I'm gonna
OD,
slap
man.
you. I'm gonna slap you.
Yo, boss.
I'm gonna slap you.
Because I'm not.
I'm gonna slap you.
But if I was to hit her, then y'all back me up.
The fuck?
Don't hit me, yo. Don't hit me, bro.
You getting on my fucking nerves. You embarrassing me.
Oh.
You're fucking embarrassing me. What you grabbing? What you grabbing? What's up? You want to strap up? What's up?
Yo, don't
What's
touch me,
up?
man.
What's up?
Boss.
What's up?
Something,
What's
bro.
up? No,
I'm just sitting
I
there.
don't play that shit.
Bro, but do something, bro.
I don't play that shit. What? Stop. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
If I hit
Leave
her,
him
bro.
alone.
If I hit her.
If you hit me, what?
If I hit her,
you're going to jail. 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 You ain't got no money.
Bro, but do something, bro. Get her out my face, bro.
Telling him to do something. What can he do?
Bro, I'm here to shop. What the fuck, man?
You just grabbed your shorts. Why would you do that? The hell? What's up?
Bro, I'll knock you the fuck out, bro. Watch out, bro.
Don't you ever.
Y'all get her, bro.
Get her what?
Get her, man.
What?
Man, y'all, that's fucked up. Y'all just sit there and watch, dog. All right.
If I don't
hit me, dog. Watch out. Don't touch me.
Anybody done anything yet?
What?
All right.
What's gonna happen?
Everybody nice. Nobody see nothing. Everybody blind.
Fuck everybody.
Oh, I said, bro, this guy is prank or some shit right now.
So we just trying to like.
Bro, I was scared as fuck. I was like, bro, are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
I
man.
fucking came out the break room, bro.
Whoa, shit. He's sitting there, bro.
So they do this in a number of different stores, and I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm definitely going to put the link in the description box, but you know, commonly accepted, right? And I have other videos that I routinely show of the same kinds of experiments. There are some videos where perfect strangers will walk up and hit the man in the middle of the exchange just because he's already being treated like that. There are other videos I have where police officers will literally walk by a woman abusing her man and do nothing about it. If anything, laugh about it as they're walking, right? These are common, right? So the casual conversation we started this show talking about, where you have these two older women just sitting there talking about past abuses and laughing about it, is still going on when you talk about this kind of social experiment. And I'm not even talking about the real life situations you guys are attesting to. And there's some who are writing in the live comments some of this as well, right? Says, I was gaslighted by my dad's sister. She said I slapped my little cousin. I really didn't. Free casing 12-year-olds make them feel big. There's all kinds of stories sifting through here. Trying to see the ones I saw a moment ago. It says, funny though, all the talk about male abuse, there's no evidence of the men physically abusing the women in the family. Sister sliced my brother's lip off with a glass bottle. Permanent scarring and stitches when they were kids. Yeah. You know, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. And yet, still difficulty when having the conversation. Again, if you bring up, and this goes back to what I talked about in terms of the color purpling of America. When you bring up, you know, abuse in the Black community, one of the first things you hear are narratives that people are comfortable giving. Narratives they've heard for generations, they've talked about for generations. I can't tell you how many I've heard who've rehearsed stories from the 1960s, the 1970s, and they're still rehearsing it to this day, bringing up stories from films that they hadn't even experienced, and yet completely oblivious to the experiences of men right next to them, right? And it's still going on. So I'm not going to keep y'all long today. It's going to be a short one, but I just kind of wanted to enter that into the discussion and see what your thoughts were about that. And I want to hear stories from men about the different kinds of things they've experienced. I hope you'll add to the stories that I'm already getting. You know, it's been a, fairly long day today. This is my Friday as far as teaching. So I'm pretty much ready to kind of relax for a little bit, but I wanted to get this in because there's another story I'm going to share tomorrow of a different type of abuse that I want you guys to bear witness to. But this, nevertheless, is something that tends to go, unobserved, dismissed in very casual conversation, regardless of how often it happens. And you'll have people who swear up and down that it's irrelevant. Now, if you've read Tommy Curry's The Man Not, then you know there was even a period in the early 1980s where male victimization in terms of intimate partner violence was higher than female victimization. So you have those periods as well. And most just dismiss that in casual conversation. But for the most part, bidirectionality is really the dynamic that best explains the frequency and even intensity of violence. And we've covered the data showing that often women strike first, women use weapons to a greater degree, women are not held accountable to the same extent as men. They actually get 65% less sentencing for the same crimes that men commit. And this is part of what's going on in terms of the entitlement that you can see playing out, because much of the time they know they're not going to be held accountable. That kind of fuels the entitled behavior. Now, again, the video I just played was a performance. So the woman there, and the man for that matter, they talk about it before they go to do it. They're letting you know that they know this is a performance. But if you look at even how she played out her role, this wasn't something she had to create out of a vacuum. She didn't have to figure out how to do this. This was she's actually using the same kind of phrases that we've seen in live abuse videos. This is a familiar thing. And one of the things she says repeatedly is, you'll go to jail. If you respond, you'll go to jail. She's using institutions that are at her back that she can call in at her whim. Right? This is one of the reasons that you have so many men that don't respond, not even in self-defense, because they fully understand that she has the disposal of institutions at her behest and is using that as part of her abuse of him. Right? And I've seen those same women turn around and thump their chest to their girls about how strong they are and how much they can dominate somebody. But it's not about them dominating anybody. It's about them in alignment with the institutions and resources available to them that are dominating him. Now, if you're going through this at all, I would definitely say seek therapy. I would definitely say get into a completely different situation. Leave, please. And if you really want to see how this can go and how far it can go, even for celebrities, you should be watching that Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. They just did the cross-examination today, and you can see the case, the interviews prior leading up to this. And I think the one yesterday was most key, where Johnny Depp is talking about the different things that happened, right? From her throwing a bottle at him that sliced off part of his finger, to literally defecating in his bed. Right? This is how far this abuse can go. She literally talks about, and you probably heard the tapes on this, the recordings on this, where she talks about hitting him and calls him a baby for not taking the hits well enough, right? For complaining about being hit. But this is the casual and comfortable entitlement involved, because she knows for the most part, she's not going to be held accountable, right? She's not about to go to jail for this kind of thing. This is acceptable. And if this is acceptable for multi-million-dollar celebrities, what happens to the everyday cat? Right? So these are the kind of things that we're looking at. And I hope that we can create a conversation around protecting men, most particularly Black men, from having to go through this, and also actually using the law, to our benefit to the best you can. And one of the biggest ways you need to do that, record, get evidence. It is what it is. So anyway, just wanted to hit this one real quick. I look for your comments, and y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all tomorrow.